Hey there, blade fans. Welcome back. We've got Vosteed today again, and something brand new that just came out in the fixed blade realm. Now, some time ago, and not that long ago, you will recall that we took a look at this fixed blade, which I believe was the first fixed blade ever from Vosteed, and it's called the Mink. It was a relatively diminutive fixed blade of a Nitro V. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, nice and small and cute. That's neat. And I put it in the hand, and I was amazed at how comfortable and actually hand-filling this little blade was. Because for me, I love to put the thumb on the back of the spine of the blade, not the back of the spine. Yeah, always early here, it seems. We've got a really nice frag pattern on a black micarta with this one. A really nice drop point, we would call it. And again, the amazing thing is that for a small knife of what? Just a little over 7 inches with a 3¼ inch blade, that it holds so well. It just feels so natural in the hand. It doesn't look like they did anything amazing with the ergos. It's a rather straight handle, not too many fancy curves, and perfect place for your index finger. Look at all the jimping they give you. So, if you want to hold the knife this way for detail work, you can. Anyway, I'm sure there was a cry for something bigger. I'm going to put this guy away for just a moment. And Vosteed contacted me and said, hey, we got a new fixed blade. And there it is. So, in this really nice box with convenient cutouts for your thumb to open it, we now have the Vosteed Mink, stay sharp, stay wild, in the XL flavor. Nice little microfiber cloth, and they put it in some dense foam, holding the clip in place, and it's a Tech-Lock style clip. Great for your belt and so forth, but let's not keep you waiting. There is the new XL Mink in Sheepsfoot flavor. There's your Sheepsfoot. Not Warnie, not Reverse Tonto, Sheepsfoot. Except Sheepsfoot, as with Wharncliffe, I believe, we are presupposing a straight edge, and this has an ever so slight belly to it, kind of an upward curve. It places the tip, the point, pretty much on line with the center line of the handle. Actually, it would be out there if it was exactly center line. But it is bigger. How much bigger is it, I guess, is the first question that should come to mind. Here's the little guy, the original, and you can see they have amped it up a good amount. We've got about 1.5 inches longer, at least. Got a handle, strangely enough, that is a little more tall than it is a little more long. Still fits the hand nicely. And we got a blade that's a solid inch longer. So we're going to get to the measurements before too long, and I'll have some other compares for you as usual. But let's take a look around. Since it's not a folder, I can't do any fancy flips and openings and reverse flicks and thumb studs and back flips and blah, blah, blah. It's a fixed blade, folks. And hey, it ain't going to fold on your hand. You don't have to worry about what kind of action it has. The only action you would need to be concerned about is how does it fit the sheath? And I must say that Vosteed always has done, well, they've only got one other fixed blade, but they have done an amazing job on their sheath. No rattle, and you've got a raised portion here that you can very easily thumb it off with, and yet the retention is real good. You can remove this. It's a little bulky if you don't like to wear it on the outside of the belt in kind of a standoff fashion. You can put a DCC clip in. Yeah, you can put an ulti clip. You can put a belt strap, tuck it inside the waistband, what have you. Really depends on your use. This is sort of more of an outdoor knife, more of a camping knife, more of even a food prep knife than it is any kind of a defensive tool. And it is also in Nitro V. There's your Vosteed, and there is your Nitro V nameplate. So we're going to get to measuring it. So you have some understanding of the size we're talking about here. 8 inches exactly overall. 4 inches exactly on the blade. Do you think they planned that? I think they might have, at least for imperial units. So in inches, we've got a blade thickness of 0.2, or not 0.28, 28 millimeters. I'm not in inches yet. 0.11, and a handle thickness of only 0.45 for a fixed blade. You can tell this is going to ride, well, I'm dropping stuff. It's going to ride really slim, thin in pocket. Knife alone, and we have 3.62 ounces. And with the sheath, well, let's just leave that on and add the sheath, shall we? With the sheath, which shouldn't make up too much more weight, we've got 6.23. So it feels, you know, it's Kydex, going to feel very light in the hand, but it does add some weight if you're concerned about that. 6 ounces on your belt or inside your waistband is really nothing. Nice frag micarta on this one. This version happens to be blue handle. They've got 2 or 3 other versions. I'm not sure if any don't have the black finish on it, and I'm not sure if this is like a Cerakote. It's definitely tumbled or stonewashed. So it's smooth, quite smooth, and a little slippery, but you can't really feel any texture to it. Again, we have the double rows of jimping way out here if you want to stick the thumb way out here, or if you're doing this sort of maneuver. And as you can see, get the light to show you, that is a nice angle for point work, much more so than we had on the original Mink here. So to get that point work, and you need to go almost vertical, but you've got the belly on this one that you don't have too significantly on the XL. So the Mink XL, a nice hand-filling, I would say medium to small size fixed blade with a high grind, flat grind, slicey. Oh, this is very sharp. We've got to test the old sharpness on this one. Can I get some paper? I'm trying to hold the knife under the camera so you don't get bored. Some of you guys will write me and say, he took the knife out of the frame for 5 seconds. I had nothing to look at. Oh boy. But look at this guy. Look at this. It's pretty much a laser right out of the box. I like that. When I can put it to use and don't need to embellish it myself until it eventually does get dull. And Nitro V's got a pretty good rep. I've got custom knives from Cohen's Craft in Canada, Nitro V. So it can't be all that bad a thing, and it can't be all that a budget, a steal. Now, speaking of budget, what do we got for a price on this? Well, it is coming in at $79 MSRP. So That's your starting price. I've seen that they are already available on White Mountain, so I'll make sure you've got a link to the White Mountain models as well. Not that they're any different, but they are going to be priced a little lower. If you buy from White Mountain, you can use my discount code OG-Blade or Old Sword. That's my old one under my old name that's still available at White Mountain. You'll get 10% off. So right away you get 7.9. You get $7.90 off, and no shipping costs from White Mountain, and no tax from White Mountain. I think that's a really good proposition. Not a proposition, it's a really good fact. Okay, so I'm liking the thinness of it. I'm liking the fact that they made it a little taller. So despite the thinness, it still fits in the hand very well. It is almost neutral. If you did want to hold the knife with the point down edge out, you could. We call that pical. Technically, pical has the edge in. Somebody mentioned that in a comment on another knife. And I think we were talking about the same thing, but he happened to want to describe that differently. A compare to two other knives that I happened to grab kind of quick before this review. This is the Tamashii, designed by Bob Truzola, a Civivi knife that's been out for quite a while and comes in a lot of flavors. It's an inch longer overall, and has a blade of about, it's probably a little over 4 inches depending upon where you measure it, but basically you've got a longer handle, and it's a smooth G10 on this one. And the old standby Spyderco Street Beat right there. Hopefully you can see that okay. Compared to the Street Beat is a good deal shorter, a good 1.5 inches overall, and it's got a 3.5 inch blade, so we're about 1/2 inch or a little more than that shorter. Nice knife, by the way, beautiful knife. So if you have either of those, you have the Civivi or you have the Spyderco, you can see the size correlation there. If you ever have a chance to get a Tamashii, it's a beautiful knife. It's only offered in D2 so far, but I think it's good enough that maybe one day they'll bump the steel up just a little bit. So there you have both Minks, plural. The new XL in sheepsfoot variety or variation, and the drop point original Mink. Love them both. Really nice job, Vosteed. And thank you so much for providing the XL and the original Mink long ago for review. Glad I still have this for compare. You all be well, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. You will see my logo right over here. If you click on that logo right about now, you will be directed to a place where you can subscribe to my channel. So when new videos drop, you are notified, and other good things. Be well, take care, see you soon.